Welcome back to NFL Recap and Rumors, and welcome to our 10th and last day of our Trade Predictions mini-series, where we talk about one player each day and discuss the most likely landing spots for that player in a trade. If you haven't seen days 1 through 9, I suggest you go check them out. You can find them in our Trade Predictions mini-series playlist along with this video. And with that out of the way, let's kick our final mini-series video off. Today, to close it off, we're talking about Yannick Ngakoue, the Jaguars' defensive end. So, they traded away Calais Campbell, which was completely unexpected, and it seemed like Yannick would be the first one to be traded, and now with Calais gone, they're obviously in rebuilding mode, so I think that they try it and trade away Yannick. They've been trying to do this for a while, and I think it makes perfect sense after trading away Calais Campbell to go out and trade Yannick Ngakoue. First team we have on here is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. So the Jaguars already traded Calais Campbell to the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens could use another edge rusher on the other side, especially if they get rid of Matthew Judon, which I think makes sense for them to do. And I think this makes sense because Yannick Ngakoue and Calais Campbell worked together well on the Jaguars, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't work well together in Baltimore. I think it's a good trade, and I think it's something that Baltimore would try and do to get the two Jaguar defensive ends together. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills. So they made some defensive end signings, and I think that was a good move. The problem is that none of those are good, true number one defensive ends. I think if you can get Yannick Ngakoue, that it makes sense for them to go out and try and trade for him because they already have probably the best defense in the league. But if they can get a true good number one defensive end, I think that's a perfect move, and I think that that's something that the Bills should try and go out and do. And I think it's something that they could go out and do, and it actually makes sense for them to do it. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers. So I've been thinking about this. I no longer think it's the top option, so I had him being traded to the Packers in my mock draft. I still think that makes sense, but I don't think it's as likely as some other teams. It still makes sense. They could use a good defensive end to put pressure on the quarterback, and I think that that's why Yannick Ngakoue would be helpful in Green Bay. And I think it makes sense for Green Bay to go out and get Yannick Ngakoue. I just think there's some other teams that are more likely. Sure, I did have him being traded to Green Bay in my mock draft, but I've thought about it and I don't think it's as likely anymore. To close this list off, we have the Seattle Seahawks. So, if they lose Jadeveon Clowney, then they have to get a replacement. I don't know if that's going to be Everson Griffin or Yannick Ngakoue, or if they go to the draft and get Yetur Gross-Matos or AJ Epinesa. I think all of these are good options for them to replace Clowney. Of course, if Clowney comes back, this obviously isn't as likely. I still think it's a possibility, but if Clowney doesn't come back, then I think that there's a good chance that they go after Yannick Ngakoue to fill the defensive end hole. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe down below and hit the notification bell to make sure you get notified every time we release a new video. Stay tuned for more upcoming content. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.